Well, a new Gallup poll could hold some ominous signs for President Obama's re-election chances. It finds his job approval sinking below Jimmy Carter's at this stage of his presidency, lower than any president in modern political history with a year to go until his re-election effort. At this point in his presidency, Mr. Carter was at 51% when it came to job approval. Mr. Obama, 43% now. So what does this mean for the president's re-election chances less than 1 year from right now? Joining me now, two Fox News contributors, Leslie Marshall, who's a syndicated radio talk show host, and Rich Lowry, who's editor of the National Review. All right, guys, so, obviously polls are what they are and they can change, but you look at them as sort of a harbinger of what may come. And Rich, when you see President Obama, the lowest in modern political history, even lower than Jimmy Carter, what does it tell you?
Yeah, when you're incumbent president, lower than Carter is a phrase you never want to hear. That's enough to keep your political consultant awake from now until November 2012. It's a little bit of an artifact of timing, though, Megyn, because Carter had been lower in his third year. Then there was this weird kind of rally around the flag effect when our hostages were taken in Iran, so he bumped up to the 50s before sinking beneath the waves, never to be heard from again later in 1980. But look, President Obama is flatlined at 43. You look at Gallup over the last 3 or 4 weeks, just flat at 43% approval rating, and it's just very hard for an incumbent president to win when he's down that low.
Leslie, most of the pundits say you've got to be over 47%. At a minimum, to win as an incumbent president. You got to be at least over 47%. The problem for President Obama is, a lot of these pollsters are telling us his trending is not going in the right direction. It'd be one thing if he were down low, but he's trending up, and it seems like it may be the opposite for him.
Well, we're a year away from the election, and as you know, in politics, Rich, you would agree with me on this, I'm sure, that's a lifetime, and a lot of things can happen. One, two, this is a president of first, Megyn, you know this, first African-American, first president with the name Barack Hussein Obama post 9/11, and I think he's going to be the first that will have the unemployment rate where it's at, and perhaps even an approval rating not where we Democrats or voters would like it. We have a very different voter population this time around, and the GOP does not have a Ronald Reagan standing anywhere near that platform.
A very different voter population, Rich, but also a very different candidate, really, in Barack Obama right now. Who could forget how he sailed to office the last time with the hope and change message, and the oceans are going to stop rising, and it's just this enormous message of hope, and America is going to change. We're going to get back to the way we used to be. It's not going to be as partisan. None of that is something he can run on this time, and we haven't seen him running on that. We've seen him already running a very different race.
Yeah, well, what's so different is now he has a record. He could just make vague and grandiose promises in 2008, and a lot of people swooned. And now we've had 3 years of the dreary reality. And Republicans may not have a Ronald Reagan. That's certainly true. But in 1980, no one really knew Ronald Reagan was a Ronald Reagan. He was running even with Carter right to the end, and didn't break until right to the end when the public decided Ronald Reagan was just acceptable and they were willing to take him. And I think that's going to be the test for the Republican nominee this time around if Obama's still down at around 43%.
You think so, Rich? You think at this point the standard for the GOP nominee needs to be, are you acceptable?
Yes. Yeah. If the election were held today, that's all the public would want to know, because they've concluded of President Obama. They may still like him. They may still think he's a nice guy, but he hasn't gotten the job done. He's not particularly competent. So if there's just someone who gets over that bar of acceptability on the other side, he's going to win.
Leslie, it's always interesting to look at the independents, since, you sort of expect the Republicans to say one thing and the Democrats to say the opposite. But the independents, according to this same Gallup poll, are departing from President Obama. Look at this. In January of 2011, they approved of him by 40%, said they did. Now it's down to 30%. 40% wasn't that great. 30% is less great. That is a tough number for a president who, folks on the left have said has reached out too much to the middle.
Well, no question, the numbers aren't good there. However, I don't put a huge stock in the polling numbers, and I know pollsters out there are going to, hate me for that. But the reality is we have a movement right now, and whether you have Tea Party on the right, Occupy Wall Street on the left, and you don't know how these people are going to fare when it comes to November 2012. Are they going to go to the polls? Are they going to stay home? The independents are the key to this next election. Except for Mitt Romney, every single Republican candidate is too extreme and too far to the right. For Republicans who lean left, Democrats who lean to the right, independents that consider themselves more centrist. Maybe they're fiscally conservative, but socially more liberal, more moderate.
So you're hoping to see somebody
more
other
of a
than Romney get the
cross-section in America
nomination.
doing it.
But,
Leslie.
you know,
Absolutely.
in 2009 and 2010, Democrats lost independents disastrously. And that number you just showed us, Megyn, is really key. That's the Gallup pure independents. These are independents. They don't lean towards the Democrats. They don't lean towards Republicans. They're just down the line independents. And President Obama is at 30. At 30, below freezing among them. That is a devastating number, and he's got to get that up as well.
And you got
to,
but at the same time, he's got to gin up support from his base, and doing both of those things at the same time may prove difficult for him. Leslie, Rich, thank you both so much for a thoughtful discussion.
Thank you, Megyn.
Take care.